guys, Duster McDangles back here with another video, and welcome back to the NHL preview series here. We are back in the Atlantic Division, and in today's episode we're going to be going ahead and taking a look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, how they finished off last year, their team stats, the players that have left, the players that they've brought in. We'll take a look at projected lineups as well as what I think they will do this upcoming season. But on the screen right now, before we get in this episode, you can see the stats of you guys who actually watched the video, and the majority of you guys are not actually subscribed to the channel. So if you are watching this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you like anything NHL hockey related. We're going to be doing videos like this all season long throughout the entire hockey season, so consider subscribing to the channel. But without further ado, let's go ahead, hop into it, and take a look at the Toronto Maple Leafs. Looking at the Maple Leafs of last year, they had an extremely solid year with a record of 54, 21 and 7, which was good enough for 115 points in the NHL last year. One of the top teams in their division, just behind the Florida Panthers. Team stats wise, when it comes to that, goals for, they were ranked second in the league. Now the contrast with that, the goals against was 18th in the league, so they're going to need to try to shore that up this upcoming year if they want to try to go further than they did last year. Their power play and penalty kill, however, power play was 27.3%, which is absolutely red hot fire, and then their penalty kill was 82.1% for the year, which is pretty solid stats. Now, again, they need to find a way to shore up their back end, which we'll actually have a little bit of information today when it comes to one of their players on the back end and if he is healthy. But when it comes to players now, players leaving the squad from last year, Ilya Mikheyev leaving, as well as Jason Spezza actually retiring and moving to the front office. Ilya Lyubushkin also leaving the squad, and then between the pipes they actually lost both their goaltenders from last year, Jack Campbell and Peter Mrazek, both leaving the squad, which is interesting because they also have gone ahead and brought in some goaltenders now with the new players, Ilya Samsonov between the pipes coming in from the Capitals, as well as Matt Murray coming in from the Senators. It'll be interesting to see that tandem this upcoming season. And some other faces that they've brought into the squad, Nicholas Aube-Kubel, bringing him over from the Colorado Avalanche. Adam Gaudette also being brought in from the Senators. Jordy Ben on the back end to get a little bit more depth in that position. Victor Mete up front, and then finally a solid depth forward position for scoring, Calle Jarnkrok, they've brought over from the Calgary Flames. So overall, players in and out I thought were pretty even, very solid players that they've brought in. It'll be interesting to see that goaltending tandem and how that works, but let's go ahead on the screen right now. We'll take a look at their projected lines. Looking at their lineup right now, I mean, it is very stacked when it comes to their first two lines. You've got Bunting, Matthews, Marner. Second line, Kerfoot, Tavares, Nylander, Egnal, Camp, and Jarnkrok on that third line. And then fourth line as of now is Simmons, Gaudette, and Kubel. Again, very deep on the forward position. It's just a matter of them staying healthy and being able to put it together. On the back end, they've got Riley, Lindgren, Muzzin, Brody, Giordano, and Hall. Now, I just noticed this morning Lindgren is actually injured right now and is possibly going to miss the entire preseason. Now, again, I've seen those reports on NHL Network and some other places, so who knows how long he will exactly be out for. But if they do not have him to start the year, you can maybe slot in Jordy Ben into the lineup. But after that, they're not very deep when it comes to everything on the back end, as they have yet to sign Rasmus Sandin, so he's not actually going to be in the lineup until they get a deal done with him. But they just don't have a lot of cap room to work with, if any at all, to try to get any deals done. They might have to move some players in and out of the squad, so that'll be interesting there. But now we'll switch over to the goaltenders again. Matt Murray, Samsonov, going to be interesting to see how they mesh together. But now taking a look at their contract situation, I mean, you've got their top dog players who have the majority of the cap room. Matthews, Tavares, Marner, and Nylander hold a ton of the cap. Now, again, you've got Tavares is the oldest one, who's actually second on that most cap list, $11 million. You can't really get rid of him. He is your captain, John Tavares, from the area. You're not getting rid of him. I think if anyone's going to be expendable this upcoming season, it might be Nylander, but he's actually been one of their most productive depth forwards. So it's going to be tough to try to get rid of him if they plan on moving on from anyone to open up some cap space. Now, you've got Kerfoot and Egnal on the unrestricted free agent. Now, they're both semi-young. Kerfoot, 28 years old. Egnal, being 26, so it'll be interesting there. But the rest of their depth forwards are going to be up for deals. Calle Jarnkrok, they got a really good deal done for him. 30 years old, $2.1 million a year for the next 4 years. Very nice there. Camp, Kubel, Bunting, Simmons. You got Anderson and Gaudette on restricteds, but all of those guys are going to need to be re-signed, and it's going to be tough with their cap space on how they're going to be able to get anything done whatsoever. On the back end, you really just have to worry about Hull and getting him done after this upcoming season. But Rasmus Sandin, they have to find a way to figure him out and get him into the lineup. He is 22 years old. I would say the jury is still out on him. He still needs to figure out his game, but he is still young. He is still developing, and maybe by the age of 25, he's got it all figured out, but who knows by then if he's actually going to be with the Leafs or not. And then between the pipes, you've got Samsonov on a restricted year after this upcoming season. 25 years old, you have to find a way to get something worked out with him. Matt Murray is still only 28 years old, but who knows with him. He's very streaky. He did go to the Ottawa Senators when they were not one of the best teams in the league, so it'll be interesting to see if he can bounce back and find a way to get it done with Toronto. But moving on to my predictions for this team, I fully expect them with their lineup, their top 6 forwards and their top defensemen, to get the job done again this year. They need to get out of the first round of the playoffs. That they need to find a way to get that done. Last year, very disappointing, losing in Game 7. They had the series in the bag, could have finished it off. But man, just losing to the Tampa Bay Lightning definitely took the wind out of their sails for sure. And who knows, maybe that was good for them, losing to the Lightning, seeing a Stanley Cup champion get through a series, a grindy series, and move on to the next round. Maybe that was good for their young guns such as Marner, Matthews, Nylander, to think, okay, this is how we got to play. Maybe that's how they're going to play this upcoming season, and that is what I fully expect them to do. I expect them to be up around the point mark of where they finished off last year, that 115 to 120 point range. I don't think the Panthers are going to be as good as what they were last year. Again, we'll be getting into that in the next episode, but man, those Toronto Maple Leafs, they will definitely be fighting for the division, and I fully expect them to make a push for the playoffs this year. I expect them to get out of the first round, and it really is going to come down to goaltending. I think Campbell was a great goalie, very solid. They got to have a defense around whoever's going to be in the net, whoever that number one is, whether it's Samsonov or Matt Murray. But if you can get either one of them, and specifically Matt Murray, back to Stanley Cup performing mode, I mean, the sky's the limit for the Toronto Maple Leafs. If they can get Matt Murray to the standard of what he can perform at, it's going to be lights out, and I think that they will definitely make a push at least to the conference finals. As long as they stay healthy, their top 6 can score tons of goals. Their defense is able to figure out in front of the goaltending. And if the goaltending can keep the puck out of the net, specifically Samsonov, Matt Murray being stellar goaltenders, being a solid tandem, splitting games, look out for the Toronto Maple Leafs this upcoming season, guys. But I want to hear from all the Toronto Maple Leaf fans out there. What do you guys expect this upcoming season? Who's going to be the top performer? Is it going to be Matthews, Tavares, Marner, Nylander? On the back end, is Riley and Muzzin, are they going to step up and play some solid hockey? Let me know what you guys think down below. Is Matt Murray going to be the goaltender of old and win them a Stanley Cup? Who knows? But I want to hear from you guys what you think is going to happen this upcoming season. If you have also made it to this point in the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Stick around because we're going to be having these videos all throughout the season, so stick around. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a thumbs up on it. That's going to be it. I hope you guys have a good day, and as always, stay dusty.